Today, KISUMU County is having its annual general meeting. The teachers of KISUMU County have been invited to the annual general meeting, the AGM. And again, we want to put our unions into perspective. We know that unions are supposed to agitate for the welfare of the teachers. That is one of the key roles of our union. That we look at the welfare of the teacher, and we also defend the teacher against maybe malpractices that might come across from the employer. But again, when we look at unions in the 21st century, is it just about activism? These are some of the things that we need really to look at, even as KISUMU County is holding its annual general meeting. Is it just about activism? I believe that there is a way in which we can renovate our unions so that we don't just look at the bit of activism alone, because we realize that the challenges of the 21st century are so many. The teachers are going through a lot. There are issues of climate change that affect the teachers, the issues of the general development of the teacher, and there are also other issues that are coming into play. And even as we move forward, the issues to deal with the digital economy, all these things must be put in perspective so that we redefine the union in the 21st century. Our leaders really having that broad-based kind of approach to union issues. I want to challenge the leadership of KISUMU County that let us not just talk about activism. Let us not just talk about this bit that we have to go on strike, which is a good thing, whenever we feel aggrieved by the employer. There are certain things that even before we reach to that level, we can do to make the life of the teacher better. So I want to challenge the leadership of KISUMU County that as we have our annual general meeting, what are your plans? Or your plans are now just focused on the election that is coming in 2026? I think that will be unfair for the teacher. And I want to challenge the current leadership to work for the teacher, not to work for themselves, because we have realized, and this is for a fact, that the leadership that we have today is divided. We have a situation where the chairman is actually leading a group and the secretary is also leading his own group, and therefore the focus now is not the teacher. The focus now is the election that is coming. Can we work for the teacher until that time that the elections will be called by the national office, so that we work for the teacher? Now, I want to commend KUPPET for having always coming out whenever we have sporting or drama activities. Generally, the co-curriculum activities they support. But is it just the co-curriculum activities that they can support? We have so many programs that are running in school. There are the digitalization of schools as we talk now. What is the role of KUPPET in trying to make our schools digital? What is the role? Which role are they playing? Because remember, that is the other thing in the 21st century. Let's not just have the analog way of thinking. Many schools are now digitalizing their system. What is the role of KUPPET in helping the schools to digitalize? You know, KUPPET is a big organization. They can also partner with other organizations that maybe can sponsor or bring computers to schools. But this is not happening. This is not happening. They can even also try to sponsor some of the digital programs that schools run. But it's not happening because for them it is about activism and the traditional way of the management of unions. That is what the focus is on. But I want us to look at these things in a different perspective. There are so many activities that are happening in school. Let us have leaders that are now coming out to do things outside the box. There is a huge paradigm shift, and if the unionists are not very careful. They are going to be rendered redundant, and when you are rendered redundant, you're not going to be electable. Let us put things in perspective and streamline